Welcome back, survivors. For today's mod review, we're going to be talking about one that, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to pronounce. It's either Chetu or Chetu's tools. In either case, is a really cool one. I apologize for not pronouncing it right, but it is a pretty cool QOL mod that I think has some particularly really good uses. So to start this off, there's a crafting station and spoil crafter that you're going to be able to craft on your person, and let's talk about where that's going to unlock. Unlock auto at level 1. We need hide, metal bars, stone, and wood to make this guy. What this does is give you some tools and equipment that are just going to make your Ark life a lot easier, and I'll explain why for quite a few reasons later on. So everything that you need to craft, you can craft from this, and as you can see, it's already organized in awesome folders for you. And when you go to try to craft the crafting station on you, there'll be a tools section here, and you'll be able to craft the structures here and then a few other things here, but generally all of it's in this crafting station. For starters, we have this ascension. This is pretty awesome. You just electronics, element, metal, and it'll ascend your character. That way you can get the level cap up immediately, regardless of what server you're on, which is really nice if you're playing on a modded server or a server where you don't allow transfers of characters. You can still have people jump in, still get the ascension bonuses, still get the level cap bonuses, right? Going over to the tools, these are pretty interesting. So there's a pickup relic that's much like the mod that we talked about before that had the item that you remote use on the Dino's inventory, and it allows you to pick them up. It works essentially the same way. Fiber thatch to make, you grab it, throw it in the Dino's inventory, and then you'll be able to pick it up as if it were kind of like a shoulder pad. In the weapon section, we have bolas, and then we also have a melee. So in the bolas, there's two additional bolas to obviously the already bola that you have. One is a saint that pretty much works the same way as a normal bola, but then it also trank things on top of it, which apparently this bola will work on just about any creature regardless of size as well. I've tested this out. It doesn't look like it actually does a whole lot of torpor, but I'll show you guys exactly what you're looking at here. But I don't think this one's too overpowered because it really doesn't put that much torpor down. The reusable bola works on large dinos. It's essentially a reusable bola with durability instead of having to make a bunch of them, and this specifically works on large dinos, and this is really just meant to hold them down. This doesn't tranquilize them. So you use your normal bola to hold little dinos, you use this big bola to hold down big dinos, and if you're looking to put a little bit of torpor on top of it, you use this trank bola. Trank bola is not cheap, obviously. This is 200 narcotics per, and to be honest with you, the amount of torpor that this puts out isn't that great. So there's a benefit to being able to have a bola and be able to add some torpor as well, but I'll show you more later on. The pick is a CT bonus pick. The gathering resources are picked up on this thing and has a 250% damage at harvesting. The axe pretty much works the same way. You gather more stuff, it does more damage to resources. The pick, same way. You gather more resources, 250% extra damage and harvesting power. The pick, hatchet, and sickle all need the same thing to craft, so hide, metal, wood, pretty much it. Backing up to the resources section, you can actually make a cementing paste here out of chitin and stone. If you notice, the crafting requirements are significantly lower, and it increases and it speeds it up. So it's much better than a mortar and pestle. It will create cementing paste much more faster and much more efficiently for you. Spoil meat is also, like I said, this thing doubles as a meat spoiler as well, so you can throw your different primes, your different raws in there and spoil meat down as well, and this will actually turn it into multiples, which I kind of like the concept of this, right? So if you put one, it's like a 1 to 3. You supply one, it turns that one into 3 spoiled meat with the prime. With the normal, you still just get 1, it looks like, but with the prime meat, you get 3. Anywho, that's everything and how to craft it on the table here, which looks really cool. Let's go test it out and show you a couple things. So let's start with the tools. So what I have down in my hotbar are these bonus tools, but then also the counterpart, the normal counterpart, just for a comparison. So for right now, and I have the harvesting bonuses set standardly. So this is a vanilla harvesting setting. So with the sickle, we'll just get some fiber, not a whole lot. Let's see, I already got like 100, not quite 200. That was 3 bushes, and that's it. So let's toggle over to bonus one. As you can see, the handle of the tool color is a little bit different, which is nice because you can easily tell the difference. This gets insane. I get angler gel, I get black pearl, I get sap, I get all the berries. I'm picking up I'm well over 1,000 fiber, almost 2,000 fiber. I'm picking up the vegetables, I'm picking up oil. I'm getting everything out of this. Doesn't look like it's picking up seeds for me, although I played around with this one. Doesn't look like it's gonna get seeds for you, but do you really need it if you can just run around here and harvest this stuff like this? This is pretty insane. It kind of reminds me, it's reminiscent of the, I believe the berry sickle is mod it was called. But anywho, as we can see, this one is much more effective, and it picks up so many other little things too. I can't say that it's your sole source of gathering things, right? The sickle isn't, you're still going to have to find pearls and black pearls, and you're probably going to still want sap in large amounts. You're still going to want to go out and get those things, but kind of nice to get a little bit of extra of it in a pinch. Plus the option to pick up berries for you too. Rule makes that early harvesting a lot easier for you, and makes it so you don't necessarily have to tame a giant dino just to grab some berries. Moving over to the pick, let's do the normal pick first. Let's go up to this rock here. See, we're just getting a little bit of stone, a little bit of flint. That's pretty much it. And then let's try this rock out with the new hatchet, with the new pick rather. As you can see, considerably more. You're getting a better harvest out of this. Now that seems impressive in and of itself, just using that part. But what I'd like to show you, and oh yeah, there's definitely metal nodes up here to test out. So what we'll do the same thing is test this on a metal node. What we're doing, get a little bit of metal, a little bit of stone. That's what we're getting out of this. But if we flip-flop to the other one, start harvesting this other metal, we're getting metal, crystal, we're getting metal bars, we're getting element shards out of this as well, a little bit of silica pearl too. You're going to get a lot of other resources and minerals off of this, and this does seem to matter whether or not, if you're harvesting like crystal deposits or other things too. It honestly just harvests more and gives you some bonus stuff on top of it. This is pretty cool. I'm not sure about the metal bars and the raw metal harvesting that. That one seems a little weird to me, but I like the rest of it. Moving over, we still have the hatchet. The hatchet's pretty cut and dry, but we'll go over it real quick. It basically just harvests wood like a million times faster. So the normal hatchet, we got about 16, 17 wood per tree, right? On these little ones anyway. 13, 30. Yeah, looks like it gets a little bit more than that. Okay, I actually get a little more of that. I might have hit those earlier. Maybe that's why I didn't get as much. But let's go over to the bonus hatchet. And as you can see, there's just no comparison. The harvesting rates are so much higher on these things. And that is the tools. And that's generally how the tools work. Now, at first glance, you might be like, oh, well, you know, that seems a little OP, being able to just harvest all that stuff that fast with those tools. But when you're playing on a server that maybe they modify their gathering rates, or maybe they modify drops to you don't necessarily get the high-end equipment, high-end tools or something like that, it kind of eliminates that. And even from a server admin standpoint, using a mod like this would mean that you might not have to mess with any of your harvesting settings. You might have to tweak them all. You can, in theory, just leave them alone because you have tools here that will essentially counter that for you and still make harvesting super easy. Top it off, these guys' durability is insane too. Actually, I don't think they have a durability. No, they don't have a durability. So you can pretty much use them forever, which is cool. Like I said, I mean, I can kind of see both sides to this, but I think from a modded server standpoint, I think this is a super easy. I think this makes the management of said server a lot easier. And I think the players are definitely like being able to craft something like this off the bat. All right, we're gonna try to find something big to test these bolas out on. I'm just kind of scanning around real quick. There's a Bronto. Apparently this thing is supposed to work on anything. Let's see if it works on a Bronto. Why not, right? Ugh. It did. It hit it. And the Bronto is not moving. It's spinning, but it is stuck. This totally works on Brontos. Wow, okay. Looks like there's still the same Bola cooldown though, so you can't just throw them back to back to back on these guys. But the idea of being able to Bola even a large creature is pretty intense. Kind of works like a, I don't know, like a chain Bola essentially is what it works as. That's pretty amazing. All right, so let's try a Torpor Bola. Try this one on this guy. All right, so we hit it. We got some green smoke. Let's pull out this magnifying glass, see if I can. And as you can see, the Torpor is going up slowly. But as you can see, this isn't doing an insane amount of torpor. It's right around 200 and it stops. So it's not like this thing's doing 1,000 torpor that you're going to walk up to a Bronto and hit it with one of these bolas and knock it out. But it does add a little bit of extra. And this is definitely going to be easier with smaller creatures. The idea of just helping you out with the taming process is something that I really like. Plus, I think it'd be really funny to throw these at your tribe mates when you're bored. Anywho, I think that the Trank one's pretty cool. Plus, the resource cost is so high that I don't think it's OP. I think it actually works out really well. It's just that little bit of extra help when you're taming creatures, especially solo. The large Dino Bola, it is kind of weird seeing a large creature being able to be immobilized by something like this. But I can see this being effective in more of a solo environment where you're by yourself, and when you're trying to solo tame something like as annoying as like a Quetzal or something really large like that, I can definitely see where people would want to use something like this. I don't know if it was something that I would use on like a server with multiple people playing. Oh, here's a T-Rex. Let's try it on this guy. But I see the appeal and I see why. It definitely comes down to playstyles, right? Like, just because I play a certain way does not mean I would expect anybody else, everyone else to play the exact same way. And as you can see, it does immobilize the T-Rex. So I think it has its uses. I think that there's a whole lot of variables, right? So obviously, if you're using this, you're either using it on solo or using it on a server with mods. And I think it really just depends on all the other parameters that you have working with that server. All in all, I think this mod is definitely super fun and I like it. I would suggest trying to use it. I would definitely say it's definitely more, it depends on your taste, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to get running on your server, whether or not it's going to be feasible for you or whether or not it's something that you want to use. I dig it. I'm actually really curious if the mod creator will add some extra stuff to this, right? So, I mean, that when we get into the Bola section like that, it makes you wonder, will we see maybe some different like spear options or boomerang options and things like that. And when you start talking about the tools, well, there's plenty of other tools out there. Things like climbing picks and even stuff like the mining laser. It'd be interesting to see if there was some sort of tweaking to some of those things. I think that'd be really interesting to see. Overall, I think the rates make sense to me. I don't think it's crazy. I think they all of it makes sense, and honestly, it just makes it easier. If I was running a server where I was worried about harvesting rates and things like that, adding a mod like this in there would make the tools basically fix the problem for me, which I'm a huge fan of. Low maintenance, right? All in all, I highly recommend this one. I think you should check it out. As always, we will have a link to the workshop page in the description of the video so you guys can check that out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one.